Welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about constants. Constants are very similar to variables, and I won't go into detail about how variables work because we've already done that in the introduction to variables video. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out before seeing this because you will need it. I won't go into as much depth, so you might get lost. Now let's go into constants. Constants are actually very similar to variables. They're just some variable. They're actually a variable. They store a value, but they cannot be changed once you give that value. So you give that value in the beginning of the script. What you do is you say const, use the keyword const, just like variables. You know, remember you used the keyword var. Well, now you use the keyword const, and under that you give the variable name, the constant name. So I don't know, we can pick one, let's say a, and you give it a value. And for constants, unlike variables, you don't have to tell SCAR what type of variable it is. So if we wanted a to be some name, we could say Jack, and that would be fine. We don't have to tell SCAR that the a represents string like we do with variables. You know, if we had to do a variable, we'd have to do a string, and then we have to define a here, right? We would do a equals, Jack within the script. Well, with constants, you don't have to do that. You just give it a value as soon as you declare it. As soon as you tell SCAR, well, a is a constant and it represents Jack, the string Jack. And SCAR knows that it's a string because that's the value you give it. See the apostrophes? The apostrophes represent string. So when SCAR sees apostrophe, it knows that a now is a string. You could fill a with anything. You can make it a number, an integer, 5, and now a is an integer. Or you can fill it, with a boolean, true or false, and now it's a boolean. And all of those are fine. So let's just give it some text string, okay? And you can have multiple constants under it, just like variables. You could do b equals 5, okay? And as many as you want down here, but they have to be on a single line. So unlike, sometimes with variables, I told you could do var like x, y, integer. Well, you can't do that with constants. You have to have them on separate lines. And once you give them value, you can use them within the script. So you could say write line a, and let's write line b too. All right, let's try it. See, Jack 5. A represents the constant Jack, and B represents the constant 5. It's an integer, this is a string. And like I said, you cannot change a constant once you tell SCAR that it exists and give it a value. SCAR won't let you do that. That's why it's a constant. It can't change. So if you forgot that and somehow wanted to do Jill, if you wanted to change it and you forgot that it was a constant, you would get an error because variable expected in script, line 8. So see here, it expects a to be a variable, something that you can change, but you can't. It's a constant. So SCAR will give you an error. Just make sure not to forget that these are constants. You can't change them. And you might ask, well, why are they useful then? I mean, why not just use a variable if you can't change constant? Well, constants are really good for example, options for the users of your script. If you make an out to miner and you want the users to give you what kind of rock to mine, you might use a string. You might say rock, and then you might say use a comment to say what type of rock, and give them an option like iron, coal, something like that. And then here they would fill in iron, and you would use that in your script. You would see, is rock iron? Then do this. And if rock, is something else, do something else. You might be wondering how constants or variables are declared together. Like if you want to have constants and variables, where do you put them? Well, all you have to do is separate them. It doesn't matter where you do it, where you place them. It doesn't matter. The order doesn't matter. So I mean, I could have x, y. I could have two variables and integers, and like constants. So you use the keyword constant, and then you give SCAR all the constants that you're going to want to use, and then you use the keyword var, and you give SCAR all the variables that you use. And the same thing. I mean, I can move this part to the top, and then I could say, well, you can tell Scar, well, I'll give you the variables first. These are variables, and until it sees the next keyword, then it knows to expect something else. I could also do something like this. I can say variable constant variable, and give it another variable. I could say s, and string. See, and I could have as many as you want. I could do var, I don't know, ba boolean. Okay, I could do that. I can also make as many constants as I want anywhere. I mean, as long as they're not within the main loop and outside of any procedures and after the program name, you can have as many as you want anywhere you want. All right. That might be a little confusing. For now, don't worry about it. Just know that you can the order of variable and constant keyword doesn't matter. Just know that when you put the keyword var, just give it variables, not constants. Then when you're ready to give it constants, you use the word keyword const. And usually people put const on top so that the users can fill it in without worrying about the variables. Just give them options, say in here, and give them options here, and then say, don't touch below or something, so that they know that this isn't to be tampered with, so they don't mess up the script. But here they can change it. Well, that's about it for constants. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. Join me next time. We'll explore another topic. Thank you for watching.